you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
But I have to say, you're a forgive and forget person. You're friends with Dan now in Memphis, and they're like my little brothers. But we thought you'll never forgive them.
That's not in my personality. Actually, I've had time to think about this. I've had a week. And they played a great game, you know? It was a game, and good for them. Like, it's tough. It's very tough making it to the end. So I'm proud of them. And I completely forgive them. Completely.
3 minutes ago, Memphis said, had he not taken you out, you'd be holding the check, right? He knows that. He knows that you and Dan would be in the finale. Does that make it a little easier?
Let's just say he was smart taking me out. Because he's probably right about that.
Now, I don't know if you realize this, but on television, your birthday party, which has to be, you're laughing, one of the saddest, funniest, craziest, creepiest, weirdest moments on TV history.
You know, I think I started crying in that moment because I literally was like, I'm in a crazy house right now. Like, that's how I thought. I couldn't believe the way everybody was acting. I'm like, I was just like, what is going on right now? What is wrong with these people?
This weird cake. People are kind of gritting their teeth through the song, and then you're screaming and ranting and ranting. I mean, probably no party you've ever wanted to ever have again.
No. But you know what? What a way to celebrate your 30th birthday, huh? Who would have ever dreamed?
And happy birthday.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And by the way, in winning this $25,000, does that make this a little easier to deal with the fact that, well, okay, I had this weird, crazy life. I had this crazy people in the house. I have these friends for life. I have people I never want to speak to again. Does that make it easier?
Of course. It makes it a lot easier. But to tell you the truth, I already had my mind made up that all was well and forgiven before I came here today.
Even with April.
That's another story.
Well, she told us that she said some things that she clearly knows that she said for TV because she was excited, but she really thinks the world of you, thinks you're beautiful, thinks you're great. But she said something. There was one thing Ollie said at one point. Why do you think Keesha hates you so much? And she goes, because I'm prettier than she is. Well, they played that moment. The look on your face is priceless. But they played.
She says it all for herself.
Yes.
I don't think I need to. I don't think I need to say a word about it.
She seems to be like ready to be friends with you. I don't think you're ready to be friends with her.
No. I'm trying to be very nice about this, so I'll just say I don't think that's probably ever going to happen.
Wow. Even if she apologized and said, hey, sorry, it's all a game and fun and games.
If she apologized, it would be completely different, but I've never gotten an apology from her, and
let's get her over here, kidding.
I'm like, and well, she says it all for herself. She's prettiest, hey. What can you say?
Well, I will tell you that we had a poll of who was the prettiest, and you dusted her by about 30 points, but don't tell her I said that.
You're so silly, thank you.
It was like 35, I didn't want to be rude. Because she didn't come off with a pretty personality, and perhaps that's had a lot to do with it.
You think? Really? Because that surprised me. I mean, I think that anybody sits there and brags about themselves that much, I mean, they just need to carry around a full-length mirror with them, you know? I mean, it must be nice. That's all I can say. It must be nice to be imperfect.
Well, here's the funny part. You're the actress, and you're not vain or kind of silly like that.
I was raised in Ohio. You know, seriously, coming from the Midwest, I would never be like that. It's not in my personality. This is the way I look at it. You may be pretty. There's always somebody prettier than you.
That's a very PC way of handling that.
It is. Yeah.
I said Memphis should have a sitcom. I think you should have one, too.
Thanks.
What would you have done differently?
The only thing that I can think of is I think that I did the best that I could at the time, but I just wouldn't have trusted Memphis so much. I mean, of course that's where I messed up. I mean, that's the person that sent me out. So.
And we're screaming at the set, don't trust Memphis, because we know what's going on and you don't, but we're screaming at the set, don't trust him!
Oh, well, thanks.
Because by the last 6 or 7, we were kind of pulling for you. You know, like...
You don't know how much I appreciate that.
I mean, you're like LA girl for us. I mean, you're like hugging the baby, you know, so yeah.
I totally appreciate that so much. But, you know, at that point...
So we don't want this Midwest guy to win. We want...
I know. See, I didn't really have a choice at that time.
Yeah.
You know, it was pretty much down to the wire. What do you do by that point in time? You know, after I lost Rennie, it kind of lost my mind.
Yeah. You really showed that you had this really wonderful relationship that TV started showing closer to the end. And also this weird relationship with Dan. Did you have a relationship with Memphis as well?
I felt that I had a good relationship with Memphis. And I think that's what hurt. It hurt me, you know. But my problem is I get too personally attached to people sometimes.
Well, you couldn't watch the last few episodes, but there was a point where Dan was actually making fun of Memphis because he thought Memphis was always watching you and staring at you more than a brother-sister would. You probably have not heard that yet, but no, Dan was like, I thought of her as a sister, but Memphis, you were checking her out. Memphis was, I was not. I have a girlfriend. Come on, you were checking her out. Well, a little. You know, she has a great body. I mean, so they had to kind of confess that it was more than brother-sister.
They're cute. They're sweet. You know, I appreciate it. They're great guys. I shared a bedroom with Memphis for how long, you know? Said goodnight to him every night. So, you know, what
And now you should feel creepy.
Yeah. Now you are creeping me out a little bit.
He didn't really mean it that way.
I'm just teasing. No, they're great guys. They are. Both of them.
The fights with April, I mean, I have to say, some of it was some of the best TV ever. I mean, it was almost like, why didn't you guys pull hair and do Jello? I mean, it was...
I'm sure America would have loved that, huh? Just going at it, you know. I thought we came close to it, though.
You came very close to it. The B word, I mean, it was really nasty.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Well, you don't have to apologize to me, but obviously it was real and felt.
Yes, we never hit it off. We butt heads right away. I tried, time and time again. I kept trying for some reason, but...
No, I said to her that if the women had gotten as well as some of the men did, perhaps you would have gotten further. And maybe this is a lesson too, or am I reading too much into this?
No, I believe in everything you're saying right now. I think that if the girls would have pulled together a little more, but you know, in the house, I knew those girls did not like me, so I didn't really have much of a choice. I couldn't trust them. It wasn't... I had no choice, you know. I knew that they were going to backstab me the minute, you know, they got the chance, so I couldn't go with them. It was never a choice for me, unfortunately.
And they were jealous.
Oh, you're sweet. Very sweet.
You can't say that, but it's true. They were jealous, and she admitted as much. She said, you know, I'm the blonde in the house. I want to be the blonde. I mean, she said as much.
That's childish to me. But, you know. I mean, how old are we? I think we're 30 now. I would like to think we're past that.
And happy 30th. And let me ask you, too, the earthquake, how could this be? Now, I don't know how this was your first earthquake in L.A. First big one.
The big one. You know, that was the first big one. I felt little tremors here and there. I actually didn't know it was a real earthquake. I was like, I don't know. You know, they do everything to you. Oh, my gosh, they had a sumo wrestler sitting there on us. They had a gorilla waking me up in the morning. I thought they had a fake earthquake. Why not?
Did you ever think Jesse was the gorilla?
Never. Dan guessed it at the end, but no.
Having talked to him, perfect casting.
Great. It explains why he broke the banana on me. Oh, okay, honey, thank you.
So you have obviously forged relationships with people that you will love to see again.
Yes. I mean, it's been a great cast. It really has. I mean, I loved Steven right from the start. Him and I were very close.
Hey, you know what? 11 out of 12 is not bad.
Right, there you go. Not bad, huh? There's only one. There's only one that, no.
And maybe even
I
someday
don't really care to know.
and maybe someday you'll be friends.
Maybe. You never know. Miracles happen every day, right?
Well, happy 30th.